And this is something that not too many of us realize. The music around us sucks. Hello there! Back in the day, I used to think that the best audio came from my iPhone. I used to think that when I use Apple CarPlay or when I use my wired headphones, I could get the best of sound, that I could get the best quality of audio straight from YouTube or Spotify, that if I use Bluetooth via the AirPods, I could still have the best quality of music, and if I use Bluetooth to pair my iPhone to a set of external speakers, I could get the best quality of sound. The last system equipment that I used to own, similar to hi-fi, was an AWA mini component system back from the early 2000s, so about 24 years ago, and I believe that things have changed enormously since that day. Little did I know, it's one of those situations in which you don't know what you don't know. And this begs the question for me. How has the way that we consume the music that we listen evolved? What changed? And I can simply put it in one word: convenience and digitalization. So actually, two. And it's a wave that started way before the birth of Napster in the hands of someone called Karl-Heinz Brandenburg, who was a postgraduate student in Germany. A guy that in 1995, in his boredom, invented something called MP3s. And with that, he suddenly changed the music industry. Before this happened, it's not like there was no data storage that was available. But let's think about his invention. At that time, audiophiles were big, occupying on average 10 megabytes for every 1 minute of audio, making an average 3 minutes and 30 seconds song roughly to occupy 35 megabytes of storage. After his invention, the same file could occupy about 5 megabytes, 7 times less space. At that time, in the 1990s, storage on disk drives, hard drives was very expensive, and to get more storage, it would require a hard drive bigger than these speakers. With his invention, he facilitated the convenience of being able to carry large files into these little things, which he called MP3s. But it was more to that than just space, because with this invention, now you could just select the song that you wanted to play, you could repeat the song as many times as you wanted to play that song, and this wouldn't damage the source, because at the end of the day it was just ones and zeros, so it added even more convenience to the process of listening to the music that you love. Not long after this came the iPod, the Sony Walkman, the iTunes Store, and then you could buy a song for 99 cents, and in comparison, CDs were still bulky. They were, of course, smaller than LPs, but it was about this diameter. They were difficult to carry, they were expensive because you cannot just get one song, you need to buy the whole set. And they started to become less easy to move around, to say, hey, I only want 3 songs, that's about $3, instead of buying a CD that is $29, $30 back in the day. And with that, convenience superseded quality. And along the way, we started to forget, if we ever had it, what hi-fi could provide to us. The vibe and the good times that came along. We actually forgot what good quality audio was. There needed to be, as some say, a better way. And this better way needed to be like an entry-level kind of situation into the hi-fi realm, something that someone like me could afford or could enjoy, that you could notice the difference between real hi-fi audio and what up to that time was coming out of my iPhone in this case. It needed to be something easy to understand, something that wouldn't break the bank, and that was easy to blend away into my existing furniture. Because if you're anything like me, you'll be living in a small rental house, you have a limited budget with no extra storage for vinyl, you have a partner or a wife that they're not very happy with boxy little things in the middle of the living room, and more importantly, you have this need, this yearning of having good quality music. With these things in mind, I decided to browse around the store and to look around at different solutions to see what could fit my needs. And what better way to do this than to be part of Len Wallis Audio, that is open Monday to Friday from 9 to 5:30 and Saturdays from 9 to 5. And I started with the biggest elephant in the room, the speakers. And for that, I was looking for good sound, but also a size that would not send me to sleep in the couch. Looking at different brands, sizes, and tonalities, I decided to go with the Triangle Borea BR All 2s. And this one is a very compact bookshelf speaker with a very nice tonality, with richness in both the voices and the instrument tones. A good match to immerse myself into the hi-fi realm. I also like that this speaker can fit in most spaces, and more importantly, they are very easy to be driven by a small amp. They are capable of handling at ease up to 80 watts. At this stage, I'm looking for a system that is very easy to set up, and also, and very importantly, that can provide me with good quality music even though I don't have a space for vinyl, therefore I don't have space for a turntable, I don't need a CD player, because even though I have a small collection of CDs, I can find all those songs in streaming services, so that wouldn't be an issue. And in my mind, what is more important is the space. So having a good set of speakers that can translate the sound in the best way possible, but also I needed a brain that could provide me with good sound with a small footprint. I needed something very convenient. Ugly word, right?
Hang on. There is a bit more to it. You may have the right equipment, but what about the source content? You see, not all streaming services are equal, so be sure to select one that offers a high resolution audio catalog or at least CD quality. All right.
Thanks for that, Tim. Where did this guy came from? Anyway, moving on. So with that in mind, and then after looking at all the options that are in our showroom, I decided to go with a Blue Sound power node. This little unit, among the features that it has, can easily power a pair of passive speakers. It has 40 watts per channel, can handle up to 24 bits of depth coming from the streaming services, which is quite good because it's showing you not only CD quality, but more than that. And also, and this is quite nice, quite convenient, I love that word, it comes with HDMI ARC. This means that you can use it not only to listen to good music, but you can connect it to your TV, and instead of having a soundbar, you can have stereo speakers that will give you a more rich and more detailed sound when you're watching movies or your favorite shows. And that's why this handy little unit is quite nice. My phone is no longer the one that is downloading and then analyzing and then giving me the music, doing the digital to analog conversion from what I'm listening from the streaming service to the music that I want to listen. It will be actually this device that will do it for me. Because in that way, when I'm sending the message, hey device, little black thing that is among my furniture, I want to listen to Rosanna from Toto, he gets the message, but then he downloads it himself, because that's the purpose of it. It's a quite nice device, quite simple to use, quite simple to operate, and better yet, to connect. If you're putting it alongside your TV, you connect your TV via HDMI ARC, you connect your speakers left and right, you connect it to the CAT connection connectivity at home, you put the power cable, and then if you have just bookshelf speakers and you feel that you're lacking the oomph of the subwoofer, you can add a subwoofer to it. So it can be many things in one thing, and it's quite small, it's quite simple to operate and to use. So as you can see, roughly the same technology who took good quality music away from us, brought it back in, but now with the convenience of the digital age. In this way, the music around me doesn't have to suck anymore. It can be good, neat, sound nice, give me that atmosphere and that vibe that I thought that my iPhone and that my smart TV used to provide me, but now I realize that it wasn't the case. It fits to my life to perfection. It's worth noting though that this solution is for me. It's for what can I afford, it's for my budget, it's for my space, it's for what I'm looking for. In hi-fi, there's no such thing as a limited budget. It's pretty much a cornucopia from which you can make anything and everything depending on what you can afford. Because in classical antiquity, the cornucopia, also called the hoard of plenty, was a symbol of abundance. The world is your playground. You can do with it whatever you want. Remember, this setup is what works for me. Now my home has transformed into a playground. But the question is, what about yours?